The 7 goals is completely changed, everything's moving, it's heading in a different direction, but that's what comes with setting goals. I had these goals set, I analysed them, thought about what I wanted to do with my life within the next 6 months leading up to my 26th birthday in March. We're now at the end of January, so how am I progressing with those 7 goals? Have I achieved them? What have I not achieved? Am I on target to make sure I achieve it all by the time I turn 26? Let's dive in. The first one, be rid of shit clients. I can give this a firm thumbs up. Where my business is now, I've got my part-time round with the clients I want to work with. It's going really nicely, smoothly. I just do, as I said, a part-time round. It's quite leisurely, and the clients I have left, I either don't actually see them because they're working, they just pay their bills on time. Brilliant, amazing. I just go in the garden, crack on, the odd email here and there. Otherwise, I've got the clients that I see that when I do see them, it's kettles on, biscuits are out, and it's just a really nice, humble conversation and a genuinely pathetic catch up in terms of how are things going, how are you, and it's really nice to have, and it's a really pleasant experience. So I look forward to those days, especially those ones I like to do on the last job of the day. If I know that I've got 5 jobs on, 4 of them I won't even see anyone, I just go in and crack on, and one person I know is going to be there, I make sure that's my last one so that I finish the day with a nice bit of a chit chat before I come back and crack on talking to myself to a camera. Number 2, increase pricing. Now this is something I've actually reviewed and don't necessarily need to do, and as well, thinking about the way the world is at the moment and what's happening, if I can avoid that, then it would be good for a huge benefit to my clients and customers. So I'm in a position where, because I've reduced so many expenses, I've got still a few overheads that I need to reduce down because it is expensive for me to run at the moment, whereas once I can get rid of all of those and I've just got the core components of what I need to run my business, which is very minimal, then it will be quite a nice way to work and it will be able to support me for a living. So therefore I don't actually need to raise prices. So it's something that I'll put to customers and say, look, we've managed to reduce costs. We don't have to increase pricing, but obviously if you're in a position where you're doing well, like we've made the sacrifice to not increase prices, if you're in a position, then we're happy to discuss what will be comfortable for you. Whether or not anyone says, yes, I'd like to volunteer for price increase, that's another thing. But at least I know I'm in a good position there that I don't have to, so I can save that to next year or something, or maybe like in the summer or end of summer, whatever. But it's just something that as it goes along and I look at the numbers, if the numbers start to look like they're going down, then I need to adjust it, So really good position we're in here at the moment. Number 3, be driving a Tesla. So I can confirm I've got a Tesla on order and it doesn't arrive until May. I remember when I ordered it, literally the week up to it, I looked and the delivery was March, so it would have been perfect. However, within a week later it was at May, so then I put the deposit down and ordered it, and I'm just going through the details now of how to purchase it, whether I'm leasing, PCP, getting a loan, buying outright. I'm going through it now and I've pretty much decided how I'm going to do it, and just got to wait till May now before I'm driving it, unfortunately, but I'm very excited. Number 4, be 6 months into weekly content. So obviously at this point I've managed to keep up the momentum. Not only that, I've scaled it dramatically. I've just gone from 1 video a week to 2 videos a week to now to a point where I seem to be doing a video every single day. Sometimes I've done 2. It's getting to a point where I rarely actually miss a day of recording a video, whether that happens or not, hopefully not, but I'm really enjoying it, absolutely loving it. A small audience is here of like 5 people, so hello. Hopefully that'll grow, and if you're watching this in the future and you're looking down and it's like, what do you mean an audience of 5? There's thousands of views here, then brilliant. At least we know we've done something right and it's gone well, and hello from the future. But otherwise I'm really enjoying it. It's not even about what I get from it, it's just in terms of the reach or the views or likes, whatever, comments. It's just about, I'm finding it so valuable to produce these videos, to talk to a camera and to work on the ideas. It's just like really letting my creative mind explore its crevices and opportunities that it can come up with. It's almost like being back at art college where I was just painting all the time, skating all the time. It's really wonderful, but instead of creating art in the form of painting, I'm creating art in the form of video content. So it's just as enjoyable, not as messy, but I'm really loving it, so it's wonderful to do it. Number 5 is where we see significant changes. Be profiting 5 to 10 grand a month trading. I did tick this off. I did have a month where I profited 10 grand in the month. I then followed that up with making 10 grand in the following 4 days. So I made it something like, I think it was like 15 grand in the space of like a week and a half or something, or a week, I don't know, whatever it was like mind-boggling. And then we've just had so many hard hits since then. Like shortly after that point I lost 18 grand, and then now I'm at a point where I'm getting margin calls. I could be potentially losing 20 grand and I'm trying not to. One thing it's really made me realise is the stress of it, the anxiety of it is not worth the wins. And I've put, like where I've moved my money around, I've put a big chunk of money into trading, and it's something that I've realised I don't want to do. It's just the life I've moulded for myself now is around purely finding things that I enjoy and find true intrinsic motivation into actually commit to them. And trading is something that I've really enjoyed, but I enjoy it when I'm winning. I don't enjoy it when I'm losing. And I want to do things that I enjoy every component. Skating, while yes, there's shit days but don't feel enjoyable, but as a whole they're really enjoyable. And filming, there's not really been shit days filming, but I enjoy every aspect of it. Creating content for socials, like I enjoy all of this. Investing, I enjoy investing, but trading, the potential losses aren't really worth the rewards, is what I'm finding. I may just be really bad at gauging the markets on a micro level or a macro level, so who knows. But what I've realised I want to do with that is take out a huge amount, like literally reduce my accounts by like 75%, so that I've only got a small amount of money. I say small amount of money, it's still going to be substantial, but rather than targeting this like 5-10 grand a month profit, instead what I'm going to be targeting is along the lines of like a grand or two or something, if that. Just if I make anything, I make something. If I don't, I don't. And just sort of use that money to focus on... I haven't really worked it out. I've just established this is what I want to do, because I just want to be able to enjoy it and not have the stress. And if I do get margin calls in the future, it can be something like, if I get a margin call and I've got minimal amounts of money, it means I can literally get a couple of grand from somewhere, stick it in the account, and I know that I'm protected and I won't get a big suffering when I lose money. Whereas at the moment, there's a substantial enough money. Like if I lose 20 grand, that is really shit. Like really, like that is a heavy hit, and it makes me want to cry quite a lot. A lot. But I'm gonna try not to cry. I haven't lost it, so it is quite sad at the moment, because I'm really thinking like, oh, if only I could, like the stock market's dropping a lot, Tesla's dropped a lot, I need some money that I can put into the shares to buy some more, so that when it rebounds and recovers, it's looking really strong. Which I've started thinking about other money I've got in different places, and I'm like, oh, could I? The problem is, where I've got my trading account now dipping with those margin calls, I'm like, maybe I need to support that, put some money in so that I can wait out, play the long game, have some patience, and just wait for it to rebound, because it will be back at its highest points and setting new records and new highs way before the end of this year. Yeah, so either way, it's just putting too much of a mental strain on me. It's too stressful, it's too emotional. I don't enjoy the downsides of it, and I probably need to do a lot more studying into global economics to understand more about the activity in the stock market. Own 100 Tesla shares. So of course you probably know I achieved this a while ago, and I got to 100, and then that's what I've sort of managed to get a couple more, but I'm sitting there steady with my 100 or so shares. Seen them dip massively, of course, in the last couple of weeks, and while I'm talking about trading, potentially losing 20 grand here, I've seen my actual shares of Tesla dip by more than 20 grand, but not really much of a concern. Like, the stock market does its thing and it's volatile, and I'll see my shares dip and thrive throughout the time. I'm a multi-decade investor. I'm fussed about what does Tesla look like in 20, 30, 40 years time. Like when I come to retirement, what does Tesla look like then? And I truly believe that by that point, $800, $1,200 a share is going to be nothing. It's going to be forgettable in terms of like, when was it ever that low? Can't remember the last time it was down that low. Yeah, I own them. I'm happy with them. Hopefully I can own more in the future, gradually over time. But the thing I really want to get into next is property. So hopefully we'll start to look at some of the content around that and how I'm going to get into it and what I do to start making sure I learn what I need to learn, what I'm reading, who I'm meeting, what I'm networking around to learn more about property. Number 7, a plan and a date around living abroad. So I've mentioned I'd love the idea of spending a year or two living abroad. Honestly, if I lose this trade and I use shitloads of money, again, I'm gonna think that I need to go and like be a monk and just rid myself of the material world and accept owning no possessions and having no money and live peacefully and tranquilly, because I'd probably be a lot calmer. But I've changed this, and it's all around the podcast, funny enough. Where I did love the idea of like spending time abroad and living abroad for a year or two. However, now with what I want to do, I like the idea of having my base at home. I love the idea of obviously getting the Tesla and driving the Tesla, and that being a huge part of the content and the videos I make around what it's like to own this vehicle. And therefore, I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want to be abroad for a year or two and miss out on that experience and miss out on that content. And yeah, what's the point in buying a 43 grand car if you're not going to drive it? You might as well drive it every day you can. However, with the podcast, I love the idea that as it progresses and builds its own audience, if I can get that audience to a point that it's monetized and it can support itself and actually fund me going abroad, what I would do with the podcast is do series in different cities or countries. So So like, for example, if I'm doing 10 episodes in a series, what I would do is have a series where I go to California, meet with a load of entrepreneurs, business owners, change makers, these sorts of people, and interview 10, 12 of them in that time that I'm abroad, come back and have that to work with and edit and get released. And therefore I could do multiple trips a year just recording these episodes. Even if I don't do 10, if I do 2, 3, 4, 5, and just bulk it up so that I've got a series of content. Or if I can just ideally consistently release 1 episode a week, probably do some solo recordings. But either way, that's what I'd love to do. And do it with spending a lot of time abroad. I appreciate it's a lot of travel, like trying to think to be environmentally conscious and to be as efficient and effective. I don't like the idea of Zoom calls. I want it to be face to face and really build a connection. I spend a lot of time looking at a lens, talking. If I can not look at a screen and talk, then that'd be great. So this is how it's all changing. We're now a couple of months away, so still a lot could change in that time. By the time it comes to March, I might have lost all my bloody money trading. Hopefully not. But hopefully it'll be good news and I'll recover and bounce back and Tesla will be back up again and we can relax and I can stop stressing. I can really reduce the amount I'm trading and stop panicking then and not have this stress and anxiety. Not that it's really that bad, but the prospect of losing a lot of money is terrifying. Like, it's a lot of work to get it, so I don't want to lose it. But that's the update. Hopefully it's been interesting and valuable for you. Let me know your thoughts. And if you are enjoying the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because there'll be plenty more videos.